needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing, now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day.
Good morning, Rooted Men. I know it's not Tom. Yeah, it's me. Tom called me and asked me if I could sit in this morning and do this devotion. Ken will be doing the live stream for Strengthening Our Roots, and I will be back for prayer at 9. It's a beautiful morning. It's cold. It's dark. It's you people in your white Christmases, I swear. Anyway, my anger is not toward you, it's the weather. I'm not a winter person anymore. I've slowly but surely transitioned into I could be a snowbird pretty easy. Now I just gotta get my wife to be a snowbird. All right, let's see who's with us. The numbers just jumped up with like a minute to go. I had one person online, and I was starting to get a little nervous, like y'all knew I was going to be here or something. Chris Conley was the first one to show up. He was the one that saved me from total embarrassment. And Bert Reggiani, good morning. But then all of a sudden, y'all started coming back. I feel better now. There you go. All the regulars. Chuck B's here and Ken Gooch is here. Life is good again. All of our friends are together. We only have a few days left, man. It's like Christmas is coming, and whether we like it or not, it's steamrolling ahead. Sooner or later, I got to start buying some presents. For years, I love this story because it turned into a nice thing. But when we were first married, there was never a lot of money. I worked full time, but let's face it, it's expensive, and with kids, it gets even more expensive. And almost every year, we had to wait for my last paycheck to buy all the gifts. The gifts for my wife. Well, she would buy stuff for the kids along the way, but most everything was bought the last week of the year paycheck. And every Christmas Eve, we would get up early, 4:00 in the morning, and we would go to Walmart that was open all night long, and we would shop. It got to the point when the kids got old enough that they wanted to shop that we split up, and my wife would go shopping for them, and I would go shopping for my wife and take the kids with me. And then it always ended a nice breakfast at Big Boy at the breakfast buffet, and the kids could eat all the pancakes and waffles they wanted until they were sick. Up until they were 18, we did that. It became more important than the shopping to get together for Christmas Eve and go shopping together. And then as they got married and then they moved out, it changed, but we expect that, right? That's life. And as Solomon will tell us today in the verses, it's a vapor. Everything we do, the things we are, the life we live is all a vapor. It's I think he calls it vanity, which is kind of deceptive, not deceptive, but it's hard for us to understand because we look at vanity as somebody looking in the mirror going, "Oh, I'm beautiful," when that's not the case. Geez, I created everybody. I think we got it. I think I am ready to go. Let me pull up the verse, which I've already done, and look at that. I'll see how simple that was this time because I was paying attention. Of course, I don't have it on the right. I don't have it on the starting point, which is because I was reading through it for your benefit. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, of which you will say, I have no pleasure in them. I don't know. These verses, they're kind of all one at the beginning and all one thing. So maybe I'll read through it all and then we can go back through and look at some of the high points. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars are darkened and the clouds return after the rain, in the days when the keepers of the house tremble and the strong men are bent and the grinders cease because they are few and those who look through the windows are dimmed and the doors on the street are shut, when the sound of the grinding is low and one rises up and the sound of a bird and all the daughters of song are brought low. They are afraid also of what is high and the terrors that are in the way. The almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags itself along, and desire fails because the man is going to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Before the silver cord is snapped, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is shattered at the fountain, or the wheel is broken at the cistern, and the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Vanity of all vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity. Okay, let's go back. All right. Let's go back a little bit here. He's talking about the years draw near. This is aging. This is so he's talking about before we die. All right. He's talking about the sun and light and the moon and the stars are darkened and the sky and clouds return after the rain. He's using very poetic language to talk about death. He's using before the sun and light are darkened, light becomes less bright as you get older. He looks at the effect of the organs on the body, and then the days when the keepers of the house tremble and strong men are bent, the grinders cease. So he's talking about shaking hands and teeth that are failing. Look to those through the windows who are dim. Those who look through the windows are dimmed. Eyesight starts to fail. And the doors of the street are shut. When the sound of the grinding is low, he's talking about your teeth again. You're talking about, I love this one. And he rises with the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of the song are brought low. Sleep becomes more difficult, more challenging. There's so many descriptions of the end of life, I'm going to say end of life, but their last days. They are afraid also of what is high and terrors. Falling is definitely a problem as you get older. We worry about people falling and end up in the hospital. Then he goes into something that I had to stop and look this stuff up because it was pretty cool. He talks about the almond tree blossom. The almond tree blossoms. What does that mean, right? Well, sometimes things happen over the years and cultural things. So, but I did look it up, and the almond tree blossoms, beautiful white blossoms in the spring, or before to give its fruit, right? The almonds, but they last just a moment, and they're white. So basically, he's just talking about the white hair. He's talking about the white hair, knowing that it doesn't last long, right? And then he talks about grasshoppers dragging itself along. Now, most of us look at this and look at it and go, wow, that's cool. But we don't. He's talking about your body failing, how your strength and agility seem to disappear, right? And then he goes on to the next one, which again forced me to look it up. the silver cord is snapped. So these were cool. They're very metaphor. They're metaphors basically for life. The silver cord is just basically what it seems to be: silver and cord put together. Silver is a valuable thing, life, and the cord is something they use to attach to something. And the cord, in this instance, is our soul to our body. So something valuable can no longer be attached to the body. That's what he's meaning in this, which is fascinating to me. That I love the poetry here. And then he talks about the golden bowl, or the golden bowl is broken. So if we go with the same premise, a gold is something of value again, and a bowl is something that holds something, carries or contains. Just basic everyday bowl, right? That's what we use. But it's holding something valuable. Life is the valuable thing, and the broken bowl can't hold life. Shattered in a pitcher shattered at the fountain. All right. So we know those two had more meaning than we thought. Pitcher is a human body. Fountain of life is water. Is from the fountain, is a source of life. No longer can the source of life, the human body, hold the source of life. And then we go to the wheeled cisterns. We figure they got to be all the same, since he said or. Shattered, a broken wheel to cistern, this was probably for me the coolest one, because it talks about the mechanism of life. The wheel is a mechanism. A wheel is a mechanism of life. So what is our mechanism of life? Our heart, our lungs, our blood, the things that make our body work. The brain, as those fail, the wheel gets broken, and we can no longer get water or access life. So many of these verses here are literally littered with it's poetry in a way, but it's also Solomon recognizing that our lives are a vapor, right? He goes at the end to say, the spirit returns to God. At the end, he says that, and he's talking about the fact that life doesn't just end. It isn't over. It's just the body is separated from the spirit. Life without the Father is fleeting, right? It's ultimately empty without God. The meaning, it has meaning, but it has meaning because we know there's more. We over the last few months, we've always compared some of Jesus's words to Solomon's, and I think the one that sticks out the most to me is Solomon. Talks about life being a vapor. Jesus says, "What will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" Jesus is telling them that money you got in the bank doesn't mean a thing. Don't waste. Both of them are saying, don't waste your life chasing a mist. Chase things that are important in God's kingdom. And I looked at this, and all those things he listed off in this chapter. The beauty, he compares beauty fading to the almond tree. The grasshopper dragging his feet, us losing our strength and weakening, or desire. How about the pitcher shattering, the body failing, or wheels breaking, the life's mechanism? All these things we have in our youth. We have. I look at, and I think I did something with the youth group kids one year about beautiful women and beautiful men, and how Father Time fixes that. It puts us all back on even ground. If we get so arrogant about who we are, how strong we are, or how athletic we are, look at a 70-year-old football player. That most of them are broken down and they barely move. Joe Namath could barely walk. Who was a hero in my youth. so much of our life, the things that we hold as status things in this kingdom fail because of aging. Our body breaks, the hearts fail. So much of it, and yet Psalmist tells us, quit chasing after that. They're all vanity. And remember what he said about vanity. Vanity is not looking in the mirror. It's a mist. It's a vapor, a breath. So much of it can be just tied to things that are not important in God's kingdom. I hope this was a blessing. This book is almost over, and I tell you what, I'm so glad we did it, because we get to see a whole nother side of Solomon that we didn't know. All right. I don't see anybody else I got on. It looks like I may even chased a couple off. But I'll see you at 9 for prayer. I love you guys, man. Have a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in you today. Peace.